It's awful, and that's the beginning. Secondly, I have talked in the last few minutes to NATS themselves, the air traffic controllers down in Swanwick, just to paint a picture of what that is like. The background we have here of the newsroom at Broadcasting House, it's actually very similar. You have a large number of very well-trained controllers who are handling the busiest airspace in the world. It's a constant game of three-dimensional chess for which they have fantastic kit. Now, if a bit of that kit goes wrong, things immediately power down. It gets very, very messy indeed. The main priority is going to be getting aircraft on the ground, and that is why we've had reports of aircraft landing reasonably normally, but nothing is going to be able to take off until the problem is sorted. For people who are waiting at the moment, well, I've spoken to the two biggest UK airlines, that's British Airways and EasyJet, and they basically just said, well, tell people to check the website, which is telling me very little.
I've just seen the same from EasyJet, yes.
You've been trying that.
Yes, exactly, which is very, very unhelpful. Let me stipulate what people can expect. You can't expect cash compensation because this is not something which is the airline's responsibility. You can, however, expect a duty of care. That means once the delay gets above a few hours, the airline has to look after you, provide meals and so on. If people are stuck in the airport overnight, and I very, very much fear that there will be many thousands of people in that position, the airline has to provide hotel accommodation for you, and it has to get you to your destination as soon as it possibly can. The knock-on effects are already going to be horrible. This is Friday evening, Friday, the busiest day of the travelling week. It's going to impact on tomorrow as well because the planes and the pilots and the cabin crew are going to be in the wrong places. And I'm afraid it's, as with all things to do with air travel in the UK, hope for the best, but be prepared for the worst. And I'm afraid it's going to be pretty messy.
Simon, put this into some sort of context for us in terms of similar problems before. How does this compare to what we've seen go wrong in the past?
Just over a year ago, we had a similar issue in the sense that London airspace was extremely badly hit, but that was an entirely different cause of the problem. That was overnight on a Friday night into Saturday morning, quiet time of year. Effectively, they put in some new software to NATS, the Air Traffic Control Centre down at Swanwick, and it didn't work very well. And so people woke up, they turned up at the airport for their flights and found that very, very little was operating. This, I'm afraid, is an order of magnitude worse than that because it's hit at pretty much the busiest time of the week. You have hundreds of flights pointing at London. Bear in mind that London is way ahead of the rest of the world as being the main destination for aircraft. We have far more flights than Paris, than Tokyo, than Beijing, than New York. And so everything's trying to get in. Normally, it works wonderfully. Today, as you can see, it's working very, very badly. And I'm afraid the cancellations are going to start piling up pretty quickly. We saw Christmas Eve last year, of course, Gatwick. One terminal at one airport had a problem with their power supply. That got very, very messy, very upsetting for thousands of passengers. This, I'm afraid, is going to be magnified.